So Jacob, Cloverfield Lane, or 10 Cloverfield Lane, came out of nowhere. No one really seemed to know that another movie was being made in the Cloverfield universe, and when the trailer finally came out, it didn't look anything like a Cloverfield movie, really. I think that allowed it to be a very refreshing experience for me.
Sure.
Because the trailers really gave nothing away, and as a result of that, like, we're gonna try to give as little away as possible here to keep that viewing experience alive for you, because I think this is the kind of movie that really benefits from that. This movie doesn't revolve around what you expect it to revolve around. It just doesn't.
That's a good way to put it, trying to be as spoiler-free as possible. Right. One thing that struck me is how many different, I want to say like subgenres, but there was a lot of different horror tropes packed in, I thought, without feeling forced.
Yeah, because at its core, 10 Cloverfield Lane is kind of like a survival horror.
Right.
It's like an abduction story.
Yeah, you've got that. You've got, you know, the whole, I don't know, you almost get like this home invasion vibe, even though they're stuck. Right. There was some weird claustrophobia kind of stuff, you know, that I was like, wasn't prepared for. Now, I'm not usually a claustrophobic kind of person, but there was a few scenes where I was like, nope.
Yeah, you've got that going on. You've got John Goodman just being a creep, just overall. John Goodman is that character that makes a movie like this so successful, because while there's all this other stuff going around, like, his character and the amount of trust in which you put in him really colors the events that are going around. Like, these events can have so many different meanings just based on how you look at him as a character, and I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, just what a great performance. Like, there's times where you feel kind of slimy just watching him. You're like, I feel super uncomfortable, and you know you're just watching a fucking movie, but it's just, your skin crawls. It's amazing.
This is a very small scale production. There's really only 3 people in it, and they all 3 do very, very well. And I believe, like, their chemistry, or lack thereof, I guess, from time to time, really helps sell this environment as being like, you don't even really care about all the stuff, like what might be going on outside, what is or what isn't going on outside. None of that really matters, because you're kind of caught up in this weird family drama, if you want to call it that, and that's what really gets you from point A to point B. And there are moments, man, I think I've talked a lot about not really enjoying theater experiences.
Sure, yeah.
But I really liked this one. I mean, there is a moment in this film that comes sort of out of nowhere, and I could feel all of the air get sucked out of the theater. Like, at one point, you could just hear, and there's just silence for a good, 6 or 7 seconds, and everyone's like, oh, fuck. There's like stories within stories in this movie. And while you have like the big overarching question of what is happening outside or what isn't happening outside, you also have the question of, is John Goodman like a hero or a villain? Is the other guy that's in the bunker, is he a hero or a villain? Is he in on whatever is happening or isn't happening? But there's also this even sub mystery that goes on beneath all of that, involving like a disappearance and stuff like that really has further implications to everything else that's going on. Like, it's a very well thought out movie. It's the kind of movie that whenever you leave the theater, whenever you turn off the DVD player at home when it comes out, the more you think about it, the more rewarding it becomes.
Yeah, and you can't really trust any of the characters, like any of the 3, because all of them have some, you're given just enough information to either lay some trust or distrust one way or the other, depending on how you're interpreting the events as they unfold, because maybe they do flesh it out in ways that I kind of miss, but it's just enough to make you question everyone's background and motives, which is brilliant.
Now, I sat around and I listened.
Yeah.
I on the way back out to the car, like, like whenever the movie disperses, people are leaving out and everyone's talking about it to themselves. Like, I didn't hear anything negative, even in the parking lot. Like, someone would run up to someone else that they knew. They're like, "Oh, what did you go see?" "Oh, we just saw 10 Cloverfield Lane. Was it good?" "Yeah, I really liked it." Surprisingly, I thought this would be a movie that doesn't really fit inside of our horror bubble too well, but it really does.
Yeah, like everyone was talking about how they felt like just super tense and the thriller of The Witch, and we were like, like this movie deserves all those accolades. So
it does.
I would be okay with everyone just singing its praises all day.
So 10 Cloverfield Lane in theaters now. Go check it out. You do not want to miss it. This is something that you want to witness in theaters, and you won't hear me say that very often.
Vote with your wallet because that's what they listen to.
Absolutely.